Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So I wanted to make this video hopefully to the new players or any players that kind of seek my recommendation on what gods they should play. So what I'm going to go through is all the roles of gods and give you my what gods I would recommend for you to play for if you're like your new player. Or which ones are easy, like I said, like most versatile, and also give you like my personal favorite gods. So right away, I want to make this point. Once you hover over a god, it will show you their difficulty. Now, don't always trust the difficulty. Like, I personally do not think Bastet's hard. I think she's really easy and really powerful in game modes like Arena and Assault. It's just really easy to dish out a lot of damage. My personal favorite assassins are Boxer and Bastet. They're my personal favorites. The ones that I recommend for like newer players to get into is Bastet. I think it's just really easy. And you notice once you start playing Smite a lot that assassins, for example, there's assassins that are basic attack heavy and there's assassins that are ability based damage heavy, and that kind of determines your build and playstyle as well. Bastet, she's all abilities, so you don't have to worry about just basic attacking for your damage. Assassins specifically, they're sort of difficult. You have to know when you go in and when to get out type of situation, and know that you can take your target out or else you're just dead. So Bastet, highly recommend her. Thor is pretty easy. He does have a pretty high skill cap. Like, what I kind of mean is, like, for new players, he's pretty easy. If you're a pro player, he can be really powerful as well. So both Bastet and Thor I would recommend. Assassins, for the most part, you see them like rated like hard or very hard on some of these. So those two I would definitely recommend. Humbat is a really strong assassin as well. He does both good basic attack damage and ability damage, and he has a really large CC with his ultimate. So I would recommend checking those out if you're a new player. Moving along, and also it's also personal preference because it just depends on your play style, how you like to play video games in general. Which I'll get into that more later on. Warriors, not too many warriors. Obviously, you go from like a large selection of assassins into warriors, with just not many. My favorite warriors is Tyr, Shock, a big Shock fanboy of Amana as well. Bellona, as of late, has been a new fan favorite. Everybody's been playing Bellona. I think she has too much to her kit. She is fairly easy to play. I kind of agree with the difficulty. Another really good one to get into is Hercules, but it takes some skill to play him, you know, because Smite has a lot of skill shot abilities, some of them don't, god-wise, and Hercules, you gotta know when to pop his too. But basically the ones I would recommend that are pretty easy gods are Shock, really easy, Guan Yu, he's fairly easy as well, and Sun Wukong is pretty easy as well. He has a really nice escape, so those three I would recommend for newer players. Also, yeah, Bellona. Moving along here, Guardians. Guardians can be played in multiple play styles. They can be played as like a mage, just to dish out damage. Kind of bump my mic there, or just to be a guardian, be a tank. For the most part, these Guardians are fairly straightforward and simple as far as their abilities. I would recommend Ares. Really, like, especially when you're just when you're starting to level up for the first time in Smite, not too many people know how to counter Ares, and he's a really strong god. That's why I got him to Diamond, because he's a really strong Guardian. So Ares, Athena, those two are really good ones. Geb, pretty simple, and also Bacchus. He does crazy amount of damage as a Guardian. So I would recommend those four to try out if you're new. Also, Ymir is pretty easy. For the most part, like I said, Guardians are pretty easy to play. Moving along, mages. There's a lot of mages, but let's get right into it. My favorite mages to play are Anubis, but Anubis, I do agree, he is pretty difficult because he has 0 escapes as a mage. He relies off of lifesteal and killing your target before they can kill you, and also a pretty somewhat difficult skill shot on his Mummify. But yeah, if you can land his Mummify, he's a really strong god. He's my favorite. Moving along, Vulcan. Vulcan is another great example. He's rated very hard, but he is not hard at all. Yeah, he doesn't have much escape, but he does so much damage. Love him. and also Raw. Raw, he's like one of the easiest gods to play, and also has a pretty high skill cap as far as you can get really good at him. With this ultimate, just sniping people down, I would highly recommend him as a mage for any mage players. Also Zeus. Zeus does a crazy amount of damage. I would recommend him. Like I said, like some of these guys that says they're hard, I personally don't think they're hard. Zeus is fairly easy to land. His thunderbolts and stuff like that. But then again, he has no escapes. Also Scylla. But which ones would I recommend? Ra, Poseidon, Scylla, Vulcan. Those are some fairly easy ones. Kukulkan right away. He is super easy to play, and he has a lot of damage built into him. So those are the ones I would recommend. Hunter, back into the subject of like play style. Like let's say you're a big like FPS player, and you're really good at just landing your shots. Obviously, then Hunter is probably your play style as well. They're super strong. They're the carries of the game, of course. So if you can land your basic attacks in games in general, then you're gonna be pretty good at hunters. I'm not a hunter player, but my favorite ones would probably be Xbalanque. He's a really strong god, or hunter rather, and that's pretty much it. He's only like I don't really play hunters too much. He's my favorite though, because he does a pretty decent amount of both basic attack damage and ability damage between his 2 and 3. Which ones I would recommend? Neith is really easy to play. I think she's free to play for everybody permanently. I could be wrong though, but she's really easy to get into. Artemis is really easy to get into. Those two gods I would probably recommend for newer players. Also on her, he's a pretty good god to get into and master at, because he does so much damage with his passive and things like that. So hopefully I kind of made it a short video. It might be a little bit longer than I thought it would be. But hopefully that gives some type of, or shed some type of light onto like gods that you might want to get into if you're a new player to Smite. So hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.